তাকি কেন গহরি সীমা সারা জুলুম গরি রোহিঙ্গা জাতিরি আরা রোহিঙ্গা জাতির ব্যারা মশুক যাইতো নদীর হাইতো ওষুধ আরা রোহিঙ্গা জাতির ব্যারা মশুক যাইতো নদীর হাইতো ওষুধ দাবায় ওষুধ খাই ন পারি রাস্তা যার মোহরি রোহিঙ্গা বাইয়ান যাইবা হরে নিজর দেশ সারি রোহিঙ্গা বাইয়ানে যাইবা হরে নিজর দেশ সারি জান কুরবানি গরিলি পাইবা নিজর দেশ বাড়ি বিশ্বাসারা বর্মার দেশ তাকে কেন গহরি সীমা সারা জুলুম গরি রোহিঙ্গা জাতি 2015 বুড়ত আরা রোহিঙ্গা জাতির বুটু নলই 2015 বুড়ত আরা রোহিঙ্গা জাতির বুটু নলই দেশারা বানাইয়ে তারা আরা রোহিঙ্গা জাতিরে রোহিঙ্গা বাইয়ান যাইবা
Assalamu alaikum everyone and welcome to this annual Ramadan Rohingya special with Protect the Rohingya and Salam Media. I'm your host for the next hour, Shabnam Mayet, part of the Protect the Rohingya team, and I am wearing this super cool limited edition t-shirt. We only have around 20 left and they're 290 Rand, so if you're in Johannesburg, delivery is free. And if you like it, you can contact Protect the Rohingya on Instagram at Protect the Rohingya and inquire about it. So today on the show, it's going to be really interesting. We have Rohingya activists from Europe, from the camps in Bangladesh. People were speaking to someone from South Africa as well that's working on the Rohingya. And so it's going to be a jam-packed show. What brought us in was a song by Noor Alam, which is a song about the Rohingya history and genocide. And we're going to be listening to one more piece of Rohingya music later in the show. And just so you know, Protect the Rohingya began in 2012 with just a handful of members, and we've grown over the last few years, alhamdulillah, and we've published 2 reports, 2 genocide reports. We've held speaking tours and movie screenings. We do lots of analysis for media and students, and we also had a legal project where we sent 3 South African lawyers to Cox's Bazar in the first team documenting the genocide in 2017. We've also had winter school projects in the camps, and we also have a history project that's currently running where we're trying to document the history of some of the destroyed villages, those that were totally destroyed during the crackdown in 2017. And of course, our most well-known campaign is Black for Rohingya, which began in 2013. And it's an international social media campaign that asks people around the world to wear black and share messages of solidarity with the Rohingya every June 13th. So we hope that this year you will join us. Moving on to the lineup, we're going to be speaking to Khin Maung. Khin Maung is the founder and coordinator of the Rohingya Youth Association, which focuses on youth empowerment in the camps in Bangladesh. Of course, as you know, Cox's Bazar is now the largest refugee camp in the world, and he works on empowerment, peace, he works on human rights advocacy, and he is all over the media speaking about the plight of the Rohingya. So let's start by speaking to Khin Maung. So while we're Assalamu alaikum, Khin Maung, are you on the line?
Yeah, walaikum assalam. Thank you.
Okay, it's not very clear. Khin Maung, can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm hearing you.
Okay, it's the other set. All right, so King Maung, let's start off with speaking about Ramadan in the camp. Welcome to the show, Ramadan Mubarak to you. And how has Ramadan been going in Cox's Bazar?
Yeah, welcome, the Ramadan Mubarak. If I compare to my homeland, this is quite different for us. Having Ramadan in Bangladesh is almost 4 years until now. In one of our religious as a culture, before Ramadan, we can buy all the material for the Ramadan preparation. But in the camp, buy anything in the camp because we are dependent on the NGO. No one has income enough to buy material before Ramadan. If I say Ramadan situation in the camp is very dire condition, we cannot be buy anything. For example, for the iftari or other material, we cannot buy anything in the camp before Ramadan. Everyone depends on the NGO. If I want to say, mostly the people cannot iftari to buy something. Just basically, mostly the people are depend on their only pure water. After drinking the water, they do their iftari because they have no enough money and extra money to buy some material for the iftari and that to drink or to happening for their family.
That's so
Another one of
terrible.
our Rohingya culture. Yeah, another thing our Rohingya culture is all the family members they fasting in the Ramzan. This is also the obligation of the religion and our culture. So if in the whole family fasting in this time, who can be able for them to buy all the material?
Okay. King Maung, can you still hear me?
Highlight. We
So,
have
King
nothing.
Maung, the question everyone is asking and everyone wants to know is how do the Rohingya in Bangladesh feel about the military coup in Myanmar?
Yeah, this is the very upset. We had the military coup from the Myanmar, we are very upset because before the military coup the power, the already China, Bangladesh, and the Myanmar tried to return to back the people to Myanmar. So we are little hope we return to our country with the dignity and our freedom and our citizenship right. Unfortunately, within short time we had an unnecessary measures the military coup. So we are very upset. The people are not the happy the military coup because the military who are leading right now, they are the one of the responsible person for our genocide and for ethnic cleansing and the killing of the Rohingya people and the murder and the abandon and the rape to our mother and sister. So today the military, those the people are leading the country. So there's nothing hope for us to be better for our future. We are very worried. The military coup, it will be totally destroy our future in the future. We are not able to return to our country right now. We are worried. All of the people are worried. The military coup in the Myanmar.
Okay, I understand. Kin Maung, can you tell us this whole move to the island of Bhasan Char and the fact that so many thousands of Rohingya have already been moved? Are people in the camps happy about moving to Bhasan Char?
Yeah, basically people are not happy to move the island because the people are hoping they want to return to their country today or tomorrow. The people who are went to the island, they think it will be difficult for them to return to their original land. So the people are not willing to go there. This is the basically concern of our people.
Okay. And Kin Maung, can you tell us about the opportunities that young people have for education in the camp and your work with the young people?
Yeah, there is no opportunity for us or our younger brother and sister regarding the education. There is so many NGO launch the learning center, which is informal education. Without syllabus, there is nothing can be opportunity and the good for our future. We demand entirely to the international community, even the Bangladesh government, to use Burma syllabus in the camp by the formal education because today or tomorrow we want to return to our country. So this kind of the formal education would be useful for our future. Without formal education, without syllabus of the MEMA, it is impossible to be used for our the future. So there is no opportunity, even the education for our future, for our sister and brother. The age you learn in the refugee camp, this is the called line center. This is not the formal, all are the informal. So we cannot call this is the education, the facility or education opportunity. We are not getting any the educational facility. Even the youth are very dire condition because we cannot get any skill development, capacity building, and that empowerment. This kind of thing is very rare.
Mm-hmm. And Kimong, the last question that I want to ask you is, there have been many fires in the camp over the past month, and how has that affected everyone in the camp? We seem to have lost King Maung over there. In recent months, there have been fires in the camp. 45,000 people were left homeless in one of those fires. A lot of the shelters, safe spaces for women and children, informal education centers were burnt down. Also, a lot of the shopping areas were burnt down, and this happened just before Ramadan began. So it's quite worrying. And the problem is that Bangladesh has decided to put a fence around the 35 Rohingya camps that make up Kutupalong mega camp. And when people tried to escape from these fires, many of them got hurt. Many of them couldn't leave because of those fences and the increased fencing and increased security. What Bangladesh should actually do is allow the Rohingya out and integrate them, let them live their lives in society, as opposed to keeping them in the camps, waiting for a handout and not giving them opportunities for education. Kimong, can you hear me?
Yeah,
Kimong, I was asking you how the situation is after the fire.
The situation of the fire is very upset. Until the people are not getting their shelter, the people are not getting enough food. People are not getting enough the clothes. People are not getting enough cooking material. People are suffering. This is the Ramadan time. People, I cannot express the detail of what the people are suffering. We are there living the dire condition. We have the shelter. Even we cannot perform this successfully the Ramadan by the necessary of the material. The local people can be performed, whereas they lost the shelter. They cannot sleep well at night, because they cannot enough even the job and the glass to drink water, because everything lost. No one providing to them until now. So this is the dire condition. We see another thing. You may be hurt, and frequently there is the fire accident happening. The different camp at night. The people cannot sleep at all at night, waiting and monitoring and investigating the fire. And the people are waiting when the fire start in their camp. Even in the night, people are not well sleep at all, because they are afraid and they are traumatized about the fire issue.
That is really so scary. Kinmang, before we run out of time, I want to ask you, what can South Africans do for the Rohingya in the camps?
Yeah, in the Africa, the country, we all the human beings, we have the right to perform each other. At the same, the human being, we can be empathetic for we are suffering, and you can be the pressurized to our country to return to us with our full and dignity, and you can be work with us together. Even in the South Africa, one of the protect the Rohingya led by the shaman. We are doing the great job. Like the other South Africa, the people can do and can support you to work with us corporately. Without the support of the South Africa, you cannot do more for us. So I would like to request the South Africa, the people and the country and the government to support who are working for the people of the Rohingya, who are working for the innocent people. around the world. So I would like to request the South Africa people to support the group of the Protect the Rohingya, even who are leading this group, because they are closely working to us, they are supporting to us. So this is
Thank
the
you,
one of
King
my
Maung.
final request to support.
Thank you very much for your kind words about Protect the Rohingya. We wish you all the best for the rest of Ramadan and all the best with the wonderful work you're doing in the camp.
Okay, thank you.
Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam.
In countries across the globe this Ramadan by sponsoring towards the Africa Muslims Agency's More Than a Meal campaign. Sponsor a food hamper at 1,100 rands or an iftar suhoor meal box at 100 rands. Call Africa Muslims Agency on 011 834 8685 or donate at africamuslimsagency.co.za. Africa Muslims Agency, inspiring the spirit of giving.
Ismail, weren't you supposed to be in Umrah? No, man. With this new visa issues, I can't go every year. Yeah, I know. And now my wife, she on my case. She wants a Madina Kajur, Zamzam, Kawa, Dukkha. You know, all the suhoor and iftar stuff. I'm telling her, forget all that this year. What are you stressing about? Find everything at IG Hussein. Leave Ramadan shopping. You can also do all your Eid shopping one time. They got a wide range of Saudi and Dubai Islamic wear for the whole family. Eid gifting cannot get any easier. They have a wide range of perfumes, musalas, frames, and kiddies' educational toys, and much more. What? Are you serious? Ramadan and Eid shopping under one roof? Yeah, man. Now you can tell the wife no more excuses for not having homemade savories. Oh, what savories? More time for her ibadat, not for making savories. IG Hussein, Overport branch, open every Sunday and public holiday. IG Hussein, your Islamic lifestyle.
What makes Randery Jewelers the optimum place for your memorable gift? Is it our range of exclusive, high-end, luxurious jewellery? Or is it our master craftsmanship of all your bespoke jewellery needs? We believe it's because at Randery Jewelers, we know just how to make your special moments last forever. Whether it's for a wedding, anniversary, or just a simple gift to show your love, trust Randery Jewelers to make it special. www.randeryjewelers.com. Make your moments last forever with Randery Jewelers, the family name you can trust.
Salam Media, your link to a spiritual Ramadan.
لا تقل لوحدي أو كيف السبيل أنت بالتحدي تصنع المستحيل.
Assalamu alaikum and welcome back to this special Ramadan Rohingya show with Salam Media and Protect the Rohingya. On Twitter live, we have Zahra Mayat. She's helping us out today. And the production team is Nisreen Sadiq and Ziyad. They're doing an excellent job. And the next guest that we have is Dr. Ambia Perveen, all the way from Germany. Dr. Ambia is the chairperson of the European Rohingya Council. She's a prominent Rohingya pediatric consultant and child and adolescent psychiatrist. And she's also a very outspoken activist for women and child rights among the Rohingya. She has a lovely sense of humor. Dr. Ambia, welcome to the show. Thank you very much for joining us, and Ramadan Mubarak to you.
Assalamu alaikum wa alaikum assalam. Thank you so much, and especially to Salam Media, to people of South Africa, to protect the Rohingya, for focusing on the Rohingya cause and the Myanmar cause. Thank you once again.
Dr. Ambia, let's get right into it. As a Rohingya activist and the chairperson of the European Rohingya Council, how do you feel about the military coup?
It's a very devastating and horrible, worrisome, and it's not a new thing, the coup in Myanmar. We Rohingyas and the other ethnic minorities and the peace builders, the democratic builders of Myanmar, has been continuously knocking on the doors of international community, on the UN, and still though there were no actions has been taken. So therefore this happened because nobody took the the strength and the brutal art of the Myanmar junta. So it's and for the especially for the Rohingyas, it's a very devastating because we all are waiting to go back to our country with full citizenship rights. Yes, it is true that Bangladesh has given us shelter. The international community is helping us, but still we miss our home, we miss our land. We want to live freely. We want to live in a way where every human being live. In Bangladesh, we are getting food, we are getting the shelters, but we are still under the fenced and barbed. So it is very important for us to go back, and because of this coup, our hopes, our dreams, which we wanted to do in our homeland and repatriate, has been slowed down, or maybe it will never be possible. So for the people of Myanmar, and especially for the Rohingyas, it's horrible. And I hope that the international community will try to take as soon as possible action before further atrocities and the human rights violations occur. Thank you.
Okay. Dr. Ambia, can you tell us more about the work of the ERC?
The European Rohingya Council is it's a political organization, non-profitable. It was founded in 2012 after the first massacre happened in Arakan state, where the Rohingyas in diaspora, especially in Europe, thought, Alhamdulillah, God has given us shelters and we are living luxuries in European countries. It is our responsibility out of love. We have founded the European Rohingya Council, and we mainly focus on the political issues, and our current issue is also empowering the youth, giving the rights to the women, empowering the women and the children, and especially on the educations. We are also very actively working on the political awareness, campaigning on the Rohingya cause, and recently we are also focusing on the coup in Myanmar.
As a psychiatrist, can you tell us more about the mental health issues and conditions that are prevalent among the Rohingya and especially Rohingya children?
This is my often quote I always use. Rohingyas are open to every doors of traumas. From the day we are born, we have been oppressed in our own home country land in Arakan, and it further continues till we die. And even our death, it does not give us that whether we will be able to die peacefully or not. So our majority of our people are subjects to mental issues. There have been different kinds of reports. We have been also conducted interviews in 2019, and 20%, majority of the 20% living in the camp are suffering from PTSD and anxiety disorders, personality disorders, and due to the daily stress factors, as you can see, the fires, the fences, the moving to the Bashanchar Island, the coup, the instability, continuous instability in the camp and in Myanmar. These vulnerable Rohingyas are exposed to every mental stress, and due to the daily stress factors, we cannot heal them. They cannot even go through a normal stable phase, and there are many who really needs trauma therapy, which is a luxury therapy, which is not at all available inside the camp, and not majority of the therapists living in Bangladesh, the local ones, they have also such kind of experiences are also not there. So as I've said, the Rohingyas are suffering from all over, from every aspects, from the mental, medical, from the violations, for the insecurity, what is going on inside the camp. So we are open to every dose of traumas.
Okay. And Dr. Ambia, what are the main challenges facing Rohingya women activists?
Rohingya, not only the activists, but even the Rohingyas women.
Of course.
Unfortunately, our girls and the women had additional challenges, despite of we being vulnerable survivors and the victims of genocide. And when it comes to security, protection, very limited mobility, and then with that we are unable to stand and speak up for our rights, and we are very difficult for us to give us our decisions and our views in our communities. And especially for the Rohingya women activists, we challenges different extra challenges, especially like me being a woman. I'm a professional doctor working 24 hours and 100% professionalism, and out of need, out of responsibility, we Rohingya women are taking part and standing for our Rohingya women, whereas sometimes we are not given chances, our voices are not heard. But inshallah, with the time, we hope for the best. And it is quite challenging as a woman, especially for the whole world, and vulnerable woman, and as an activist in diaspora, it's quite challenges. But on the other side, we are blessed. We Rohingyas who are living outside the diaspora activists, we are blessed more than the Rohingyas living inside the camp and inside Arakan.
Dr. Ambia, is what is being done for survivors of sexual violence, Rohingya survivors of sexual violence in the camps? Because we know that from the genocide, there were, thousands and thousands of women who are raped. What kind of help is available for them?
I must say, unfortunately, zero. Because it's a very taboo topic. Our Rohingya community is a very shy. They are not exposed to such things, and they will try to do everything to swallow within themselves and to expose in front of others. So the help to them is zero, and these rape victims, they are also not coming up in the front, speaking about their pain, speaking the things that they went through because of the stigmatization. And plus, in 2017, many brave Rohingyas, these rape victims, come forward and spoke about it. But on the other side, after the interviews, giving them some gifts, they were left alone, no counseling and no further, further cooperation or further followed up has been done. So unfortunately, at this moment, it's horrible and almost zero.
Okay. And Dr. Ambia, the last question I want to ask you is, from your side, what do you think South Africans can do for the Rohingya?
Thank you for this question. I would like to thank again the people of South Africa for paying attention to our issue. If we only focus on Rohingya, our cause will not move further. We will not be away, and we will get our justice. It's very important that the government should also involve, not only the public. The South Africa has to divide, you people have to divide. To help the Rohingyas, we have to focus on internationally to amend that there is genocide has happened. Secondly, if the sanctions are done, that the people of the South Africa government can also coordinate with them, cooperate with them, and with united also amend sanctions if there is any business or other things are going on. It is also important that the public and the government of South Africa push for the speedy of the ICJ, ICC, and the jurisdiction system, because without that, the Rohingyas will not get their justice. And on the other side, it's also very important that the public push to the government of South Africa, that the South Africans, that they request the government to take action, to do something on the international level, and also support the Gambia, support the ICJ, support the ICC, and also the coup which is going on inside the Myanmar, to stand against the atrocities, to stand the human violations which is happening in Myanmar, and to stand for the democracy and for the CDM. And on the other side, it's also very important with the CDM also to clear that these Rohingyas are vulnerable people, and CDM cannot make a new functioning government, united government, without the involvement of these vulnerable, which you have seen recently. There has been a statement released where they have taken the other ethnic minorities, but none of the Rohingyas were given any positions. So it is
Thank
very
you, Dr.
important
Ambia.
that the world, that the South Africa, that the world needs to know that in the majority in Myanmar, they cannot rule and work further for democracy, so-called, without the involvement of minorities and especially the Rohingyas.
Thank you, Dr. Ambia. And the CDM, for listeners, is the civil disobedience movement that is currently protesting against the coup. We thank you very much for your time today, Dr. Ambia, and we wish you all the best with your work, with the work at the ERC, and for Ramadan. Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum assalam.
Okay, next online, we have Naysan, who's going to be joining us straight after this ad break.
Salam Media, your spiritual companion this Ramadan.
The Prophet, peace be upon him, Rajab is the month of Allah, Shaban is my month, and Ramadan is the month of my ummah. Increase your zakah to the communities of the Eastern Cape region of South Africa. Parents lament due to the poor quality of food. The children wake up hungry in the middle of the night, and this bothers us. At times we feel it would be better if someone adopted them so as to give them a chance in life. Donate your zakah or lillah to our feeding and skill upliftment programs. Our skill programs have made zakah recipients independent of zakah and allowed them to earn with dignity. Phone us at 041-484-1288 or visit our website at www.alfida.co.za. The Al-Fida Foundation, your social investment partner in the Eastern Cape.
Looking to cook delicious meals whilst trying to stay healthy this Ramadan? Try Sunfoil ProChef Canola Oil. It's high in omega-3 fatty acids and has a platinum endorsement from the Heart and Stroke Foundation. Sunfoil ProChef, the healthier choice. Want to know a secret? You can create delectable treats from your favorite bakery in your very own home this Ramadan. The best bakers know for the perfect decadent treat, they only use wooden spoon baking margarine. Wooden spoon, the magic in baking.
DusiMed Medicine Depot, retail pharmacy and emergency medical depot. Conveniently situated in the DusiMed Medical Center, Corner Burger and Boshoff Street, Pietermaritzburg. We provide safe, affordable and convenient medical facilities. Open till 10 p.m. every day of the year. We have a full house clinic that operates from 2 p.m. to 7 p.m., which is run by a qualified sister. The clinic offers immunization, vaccination, wellness, general consultation, and more. Call DusiMed Medicine Depot on 033 3421 DusiMed Medicine Depot, your pharmacy of choice.
Salam Media, your spiritual companion this Ramadan.
Assalamu alaikum. You are back with the special Ramadan programming. We're covering a Rohingya hour right now with Salam Media and Protect the Rohingya. And the next guest that we have is no stranger to Salam Media. We're going to be speaking to Lwin, who is an activist and Rohingya blogger ever since he left Myanmar almost 2 decades ago. And he's been documenting these human rights violations by the military. He's also a very well-known face and voice on international radio and TV, lending his voice to the situation in Myanmar and about the Rohingya. And he's the media person for the Free Rohingya Coalition. So with that, Naysan, welcome to the show.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Thank you so much for having me.
It's always wonderful to speak to you, Naysan. I have to start off with the question everyone is asking. How do the Rohingya feel about this military coup?
Well, the military they have committed the genocide against us. So they have overthrown the civilian government. Of course, the civilian government was the same. They didn't stand with us. Their leader defended the military and dismissed the genocide. Both are bad for us, but still, we will not take side with the military. So we Rohingya are against the military coup. But unfortunately, 600,000 remaining inside the Rakhine state, they cannot take the part of this movement. The entire country is on the street right now. They are protesting against the military coup, but we have no chance because our people are confined into the two conditions. About 150,000 are confined into the camp, mostly like a concentration camp, and the remaining are confined into their villages. So we have no chance. But the people who are taking refuge in Bangladesh, they have shown their solidarity with the Burmese people. In response to that, we had got back a lot of positive response from our fellow Burmese. They have apologized us, even the medical university student and the engineering student, they have issued the official letter from their student union Facebook pages that they apologize us, So these are the positive outcome from this military coup. So we, as Rohingya in exile, we are trying to help them as much as we can. So for us is to restore the democracy, to form the federal union is very much important. We expect that, from that we will also benefit, because now the same government, now they are now using the term Rohingya. At least, there are a lot of positive things. Of course, we cannot take the part in the government because we didn't have any MP elected.
Okay. So that's what I was going to ask you next. So the National Unity Government has been formed, and it seems that all the ethnic minorities have been represented. The Rohingya, of course, as you just said, are not represented because they're no MPs. But do they have a say in this government?
Not really, but not only the Rohingya, but also the Rakhine and also the Shan and also the other Muslim. They are not included in the government. But what Rakhine Buddhists are claiming that they were consulted by this CRPH committee representing Pidongsu Lodom in the parliament, and they didn't want to take the part because they have their own agenda. So for the Rohingya, of course, we have the several meetings with them, especially with the Dr. Sasa. But those, who have taken the senior position, like, the minister position, they all are, the MP elected. And all the junior position, like a deputy minister, they are, of course, the protest leader and other. But still, for us, we expect, but later on we don't know, because the people in Myanmar, they have been brainwashed by this military for more than 60 years, and now the things are slowly changing. I believe that all the thing will change, and we will get back our all due right. That is what I believe, because they can continue like before. They can continue like their previous government, denying our existence, our right, and defending the military. Now most of the people in Myanmar, they have realized that the Rohingya genocide was actually taken place. They didn't believe that previously they didn't believe that there was a genocide. They thought that there was only the terrorist attack, and the military had to respond them. So now the same military is committing the crime against humanity against the entire population. They have now understood what the military is. So we have to give them the enough space to give us the all our due right.
I read somewhere that this CRPH is calling for justice and accountability on the Rohingya genocide. Is this true?
Yeah, that's true. There are spokesperson, Dr. Sasa, until just 2 days. He was the special envoy to United Nations. Now he became the Minister for International Cooperation. So he is also there as spokesperson. We had the private meeting with him. He's really like an activist. So he has been always speaking out for the Rohingya in the public event, and also in statement. Especially, he always mentioned the Rohingya and always call us the Rohingya brother and sister. So since he is representing this government and also the committee representing people, Pirangzu Loto, so his voice are reflecting the voice of those people in the cabinet and the committee.
Okay, and this move and the international response to this coup, has it been good?
Well, there were a lot of response from the US, UK, Canada, and the European Union. But the problem is Myanmar, this military, they are used to with this sanction, from 1997 to 2011, this sanction were in place. So they are used to with that, So what they are saying is we don't really care the sanction or anything you are doing. And they don't really care if they have to, they rule the country like the North Korea. So for me, what actually needed is military intervention, because this the military have committed the genocide against the Rohingya, crime against humanity, and the war crime against the other ethnic minority in the country. Now they are committing the crime against humanity against entire population in the country. So this is the time to finish them, So they are not going to change. So the people in Myanmar, what they are trying is to form the federal army with the ethnic armed group. They don't really want this military anymore. So this is time to finish them. I see as a military intervention is only solution, because they are not listening. This people are talking about, especially those international, the advocates are talking about the arms embargo. They have the arms, the stockpile for more than 25 years. So if you stop, this arms selling them, they will not really care. And also imagine, this Russia and the China, they will not listen to you. They will keep supply, So I think as international community, especially US and also the UN, they are not interested to protect the people, but US has the well still, that they will have to balance their geopolitical interests and things, But only the solution, what I am seeing, is to support the federal army. So the people in Myanmar, they will fight themselves to finish this military.
Okay, and this morning I read that Min Aung Hlaing, the commander-in-chief, will be attending the ASEAN summit. This is really strange because this is the regional bloc, and just last week they said that they will be speaking about the coup. How can they speak about the coup to the military?
Well, just a few days ago, when I tweeted, the Malaysian ambassador, meeting with a minister in Naypyidaw, they have responded next day by a press release that they don't recognize that this state administrative council, but this ASEAN, when Myanmar became ASEAN member in 1997, the entire country was under military operation. They didn't care, and all the government, they see the UK. The ambassador was not allowed to get into the embassy. Finally, the UK accepted the decision made by this military junta. So this is a bit surprise. At the end, they always say, we are supporting the democratic movement. We will support the people. But at the end, they always recognize the military. In the past, also they did. And now also they are doing, but the ASEAN, what they are also afraid is once, this destabilize the Myanmar, it will also affect their country. And there is the Singapore, always, they are helping the military. The military can take the power for a long time because the Singapore is always helping. And also the chair Brunei, they don't really care, the massacre of the people. How many thousand of Rohingya were being killed by this military? They didn't speak out. So mostly they care only their own business, and they don't really care that the people are suffering. So I really, yesterday we tweeted, a lot of people, we have got I think more than 1 million tweet within 2-3 hours to stop this invitation. But still, I'm not sure whether they are going to listen us,
Inshallah.
Because, yeah.
Next, the last question I want to ask you is from your side. What do you think South Africans can do to help the Rohingya?
Well, South Africa, especially your organization, Protect the Rohingya, and also I was there with you just 3 years ago, and a lot of people are interested to help us. So what, for us, the most important is the education in the camp, So because, now the military has the power, this repatriation will not take place. Even Bangladesh is, very keen to work with the military. Our people will not agree, and also the international will not support this repatriation. So for us, the most important is to educate our youth and our children. So, but that the UN organization always they have been saying that they will implement the plan, but whatever they have done is it is just nothing for us. I have visited their learning center in the camp. It is just like a playground for the children. So we really need something systematically and with the Burmese curriculum, because one day we will have to go back. That these children will have to join the classes according to their ages, So the most important is to support for this Rohingya children education, youth empowerment in the camp. Another one thing is not to recognize this state administrative council led by the Maung, not to recognize them as the legitimate government of Myanmar, and also to declare them as a terrorist organization. That is very much important, because the committee representing people parliament they have also declared this state administrative council as a terrorist organization, and we really need all the government recognize them as a terrorist organization. They are really terrorizing the people. They have terrorized, they have committed all the international gravest crime, So this is time to finish them.
That's a great point. Naisan, we thank you so much for joining us today. We wish you all the best with your work at the FRC, and all the best for Ramadan. Thank you very much. Assalamu alaikum.
Thank you so much for organizing this event. I really appreciate you and the Salam Media. Thank you so much. Assalamu alaikum.
Okay, so we're going to go to an ad break, and when we come back, we'll be speaking to our final guest on the show. Thank you so much for staying with us. It's going good.
Huh?
It's going good.
Yeah. I think it's just tired and so hot. I'm hungry. But yeah, it's going great. I'm hungry though, but it's going great.
Where's the link?
Let's watch your show.
Yeah.
That's how far.
This month of mercy bring amongst other things peace, contentment and hope. Remember to spare a thought to the needy around the globe. Last year you helped thousands of people. This year with your help we can reach thousands more. Ramadan Kareem from the team at Penny Appeal SA. We thank you for your continued support. Penny Appeal. Small change, big difference.
At this time of trial and worry, the blessings of charity are the ideal means to avoid calamity and despair. The Al-Imdad Foundation gives you the opportunity to sponsor a share in a borehole in South Africa for just 1,000 Rand and provide what the Holy Prophet peace be upon him, called the best form of charity. Donate online at alimdad.com or call 0861 786 243 for more information.
Salam Media, your spiritual companion this Ramadan.
Assalamu alaikum and welcome back to this special Ramadan programming. We've had an hour speaking to Rohingya activists from all over the world, and now we're going to be speaking to Sauda Ismail, who is the coordinator and treasurer of the beautiful little South African organization with a massive heart, the Colors of Hope. Sauda, assalamu alaikum and welcome to this special Ramadan show.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. And thanks for having me on the show.
Great. So tell us about Colors of Hope's work on the Rohingya.
Well, Colors of Hope, Rohingya has been on Colors of Hope's minds, or I'll say all of us who wanted to start this. It's been something that's been on our minds for a long time. So before we started the My Rohingya project, there was a lot of thought that went into it, and I must thank you a lot and protect the Rohingya in South Africa, because I don't know where we would have been without your help. So when we began, obviously, I went to you and discussed with you, and then we launched the My Rohingya project in, I think it was 2017, September 2017. And we decided that we should have a fundraiser, because not many people knew about this, and so I decided to have something here in where I am in Northern Natal in Newcastle, and the others in Johannesburg. And it was actually quite shocking that many people didn't know what was going on to these refugees. And I think Shannon Ibrahim had wrote an article in 2017, I think it was September 2017, about a time for South Africans to, raise funds and stand up to this moral cause. And I think from September 2017, it was a project that really, really grew, not just in our hearts.
A lot of people, have a lot of good things to say about your Rice for Rohingya campaign. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Our Rice for Rohingya campaign was launched in April, and it was April 2018. And we wanted to do something that was sustainable, or something where, not just something that's once off. So initially, the area that we were going to target was in Jadimora, and this camp was about 1,200 families who were not on the list, the World Food Program list. So these people were living on private land, and we decided, our partners, Lonely Orphans in the UK, said that they would help us oversee and supervise. And we started our first project. We didn't know, obviously, how it was going to go. We didn't know how much it was going to be monthly, but, we just started. And alhamdulillah, it went really good. So for all these years, it's been every month where we would really, really love to increase how much the donations are. Currently it's only 20,000 Rand that we can send because
Wow,
that's how much, yeah. So inshallah, if we could increase it, it would be amazing, to reach more camps.
And how do people join this campaign?
It's so simple. You go onto the website, www.colorsofhope.org.za, and there's numbers. You can call any representative. There's tons of representatives there. Or you could just donate online. It's simple.
Okay. And are there any other projects that you're currently running in the camp?
Yes, there are. So initially, we have the Rice for Rohingya, then we have the annual iftar programs. When it's winter, we have winter warmth projects. We have now the water well. The water well is quite new. We've just finished our first deep tube water well in the Kutupalang camp. And so I would really urge everybody to give more for, it's Ramadan, it's Sadaqatul Jariyah. So the iftar that's going on now and the water well project.
Okay. And tell us, Sauda, why do you think South Africans should care about the Rohingya?
I just think that we as a South African nation, we know what it's like to be oppressed. We know what it's like to go through apartheid. We know what it's like to not have rights. And these people, basic human rights of even being recognized. What's worse than that? There's torture, there's rape, there's how many people that are fleeing. There's people that are in their 20s and older who don't ever know life beyond a refugee camp. So I think, and we don't need to wait for somebody, like we had Desmond Tutu speaking about, people standing up for rights of Palestine. All right, this is a moral cause. It's something that is humanity, and I think that's why it's so close to my heart. And like I said, there's many causes that many people have been doing and supporting, but this I still find that there's not it's growing now, but we should just increase our support for this.
Okay, that's a really good answer, because people are often saying, it's so far away, why should we worry about it? We have many problems back home. But I
Yes.
think it's not about picking and choosing. All problems
100%.
are important.
Yeah.
And if people want to get hold of you and join this Rise for Rohingya, or recently you put up these water wells in the camps in Bangladesh, and especially after the fire, a lot of work is needed, and your organization has been wonderful at being supportive after these fires. Can you just tell us a little bit about which projects people can assist with during Ramadan?
In Ramadan, it's basically going to be the iftar. So those are food bags, and the food bags are going to be something where it's not like perishables that can just go off. So we're looking for long term. We're looking at rice, we're looking at lentils, we're looking at oil, we're looking at potatoes, those kind of things. We don't generally do a lot of hot meals because we don't find that it's a good idea. People don't have fridges, there's no electricity, and this is more sustainable for them. So you could donate those food bags. It's about 500 to 600 rand, right? Or whatever you want to donate towards it. And then the water is right through the year. Rice bags are right through the year, but currently it's the iftar.
How
And
did the
inshallah,
fire relief? How did the fire relief project go?
the fire relief project, alhamdulillah, that was with Lonely Orphans. That went well. Obviously, like I say, for me, what is well, because we want to cover so much more, and for us, it's just like a drop in the ocean, So it's like never enough for me.
Well, Sauda, we want to thank you and your organization for all the work and all the effort that you are making. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept. And thank you for sharing your views with us this afternoon, and all the best for your organization and for the rest of Ramadan.
It's a pleasure, and Jazakallah so much. Thank you for having me on your show.
Perfect. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullah.
So, viewers, we want to thank you for joining us this afternoon on the special Ramadan programming with Salam Media and Protect the Rohingya. We've spoken to Lwin, we've spoken to Dr. Ambia Perveen, we've spoken to Khin, and we've spoken to Sauda Ismail. Also, our production team this afternoon, Nasreen Naidu, Sadiq Joseph, Ziad Milazi, and Zahra Mayat on the live tweeting. Please find us on @ProtectRohingya on Twitter, Protect the Rohingya on Instagram, and we have a Facebook group. These have grown a lot over the years, and we're constantly updating on a daily basis. I want to thank you for your time this afternoon. I want to wish you the best for Ramadan, and I also want to take this opportunity to remind you that when we are working towards the attainment of justice, there really is no act too small. There's always something you can do. Push the South African government to say something about the military coup, to say something about the Rohingya. You can support organizations like Colors of Hope. There are many organizations overseas you could support. Not doing anything is really not the option. So I want to thank you again for your time and for joining me this afternoon. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
রোহিঙ্গার কোনো বিচার নগরী আর কান্দে সরু সরকারি জুলুম করে রোহিঙ্গার এখনো বিচার নগরে মসজিদি মার হাসার পরে দরজা তালা মারে
Nafisa Dangor, live every Wednesday and Thursdays, 2 to 4
Salam Media, your link to a spiritual Ramadan.